All right, Facebook. So I'm back live again. It's Monday, November 26th, and we're in the afternoon here, and I've tracked down my longtime friend and client, John Carlson. He doesn't get on Facebook much, so many of you don't know him, but John has actually been a client of mine over 10 years. I mean, a while on and off on the different products.
Longer than that, probably.
Yeah, and I think the first time I met you or really got to know you was when I bought my first vehicle. I had pretty bad credit, and I was trying to get a truck.
Yeah,
I was
you
trying
were
to
a roach.
get a truck financed. I was a roach. I was like a 500 credit score, and I remember you were like, "What do you make each month?" And I'm like, 50 grand. And you're like,
I don't think that's
that a month or is that a year?
What I said.
So I remember that, and since then I've purchased quite a few cars from you, and I've sent a lot of friends to you. You kind of can get everyone done. I mean, I don't think I've sent a friend to you that you weren't able to get done. So you've been actually using TECOBI since the very beginning, and you've kind of used it in multiple different variations. So let's just start there. Tell me about, well, let's start. How much do you spend on Facebook right now? Because you're primarily using it with your Facebook leads. So what are you spending on Facebook each month in ad spend?
About 15 grand.
All right. So 15 grand a month. And what percentage of your total budget would you say that is?
Probably 20%.
Yeah, 20%. And then, and you've been doing that for quite some time now.
Yes.
In the region, you sell Hyundai. So in the region, what place are you in?
Oh, we're first place. We're by far.
First place every month.
Yeah.
And tell me about TECOBI. How has that helped? Just tell me about your experience with us, with text messaging, with Facebook, and how it's changed what you do.
You know, I mean, the Facebook for me is like TV was 15, 20 years ago. It's a platform everybody's on. I mean, I source all of our customers, and we get this advertising survey. I don't even look at it as much anymore because it's like 75% of our customers are on Facebook on a regular basis. So, you know, I'm putting our prices out in front of them all the time, except the difference between this and TV 15 years ago is then I get a bunch of leads off of it.
Right.
So leads go into the system, and then Jason's people grind away. They send us a link when it's a hot customer, and we convert from there. I mean, there's quite a bit of our new car business and goes through them, and you know, every once in a while I try and back off. I mean, there's talk of the advertising covenant from Hyundai. They're going to change the way we advertise. So thinking about lowering back a little bit because I primarily do loss leaders. And when I do it, I lose market share. So we've grown our market share. We push close to 20% of our market for new Hyundais here right now, just in new cars. And we've grown that since I've been here, and especially since we started putting our leads through TECOBI.
Yeah, and then so what would you say of your new Hyundais? What percentage of those are coming off of Facebook?
30% right now.
30% yourselves?
Probably closer to 35.
Right. And all those, so it's kind of interesting that you say back in the day, because John, you've been selling cars a long time. I mean, even Pat Hickey, you worked with him, and I mean, it's you've been selling a long time. So TV, it used to drive a lot of lot traffic, and you used to get a lot of people walking into the dealership. So with Facebook, it's kind of the same, but instead of someone walking in, it turns into a lead, and that creates a problem when you start getting hundreds and thousands of these leads that you now have to follow up with. So using our texting platform, you're able to send out text messages and drum up a ton of people. I mean, tell me about a text blast. What happens at the dealership when you do a text blast to follow up on leads in your pipeline?
Yeah, I'll help Rick. So I mean, it gets busy real quick.
Yeah.
I never have enough people to staff it, and that's more my problem with the text blast than anything else is just making sure I have people there to answer the phones and answer the leads because we get a ton.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
People in the system.
I think you have probably 30,000 leads, maybe 20,000 leads. So you have a ridiculous amount of leads in the system. And if you had enough room for more staff, I mean, you could light it up pretty consistently with the leads that are in the pipeline. So overall, I mean, you've known me a long time. What do you think about me overall?
Like A plus or F minus. What do I think of you? I'd give you an A
Give them your
plus.
honest input. I mean, me and you
Yeah,
have
no, I'd
butted
give you an A
heads
plus.
a couple
I'd give you an A
times.
plus. I mean, sometimes you can be a little expensive on what you charge. Like you can always charge me less. That would be okay with me. But you know what? You're always coming up with the. I mean, since I've known you, you're I guess I would say on the cutting edge of what's going to be technology and what's working. I mean, we were doing Facebook together, not the same way we're doing it now, but we were doing Facebook together 10 years ago, I think.
Yeah, I think it's
2010,
social
2011,
ups.
maybe.
Yeah, it's social ups, and I helped you grow your email pipeline.
I still use that. I mean, email's not what it was, but the other thing I get off when I get these leads, I get their email address. So
Yeah,
again, there's only good stuff that comes out of it. And even though I give you a hard time because you like to charge so much, I mean you're straight and you're honest, you're fair about it. So I do always appreciate that when I call crying, you take my call and listen to me. But you're always coming up with new stuff and always trying to improve it and trying to help me sell more cars. So I do appreciate that. Since I've known you, since the Super Duty and maybe the Mustang.
Scarlett actually tracked down that Mustang. She found it on Google Earth and tracked it down. So it's kind of in the ghetto, so I don't want to stop by and knock on the guy's door, but
Why not, man? Just stop by. Just
with a bag of cash.
my car,
Like,
my car.
Can I have my car back, please?
Yeah, that'll go over well.
Yeah.
That'll go over well.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's always been great dealing with you.
Yeah. So Facebook has kind of helped you replace quite a bit of TV and probably newspaper. I would assume.
TV, newspaper, radio. It's like all balled up in one. I mean, I still get a lot of name recognition out there. I
even billboard.
Yeah, I love having my name in front of everybody. I mean, everyone's on Facebook. My grandmother was on Facebook. The whole world's on Facebook. They're always looking at that stuff. So, I like having my name in front of everybody, and then I get with the right price, I get a bunch of leads asking about business and some credit. We put some credit stuff up there that pulls some people in. Trade-ins a little bit too, but primarily for us, it's been price point and credit have been pulling customers in.
Yeah, and I mean that's kind of your setup there. You've always been a price leader store, so I mean that's kind of your thing there. That's what you do. Always ending in a 7. So anyone needs a tip out there, always end your price point. Your price point's in a 7. That's John.
No, that's a terrible idea. I don't think anyone should do that except me. No one else should be doing that.
Yeah, no one in the San Diego market.
Whatever you guys are doing, if you're not doing that, you're doing an excellent job. Keep doing
it. Yeah. All right, John. Well, as always, I appreciate you, brother. Try and take it easy and close the month strong. And we'll talk to you soon. I appreciate you, man.
All right, man. Thanks.
All right, thanks, John. All right, bye.